Our next flower is going to be a bit more three-dimensional and slightly more difficult to create than those symmetrical flowers, and it's going to be a rose. And I like this example over here. And we're going to try and make something like this flower in the center. Okay, so set up the background image. And let's look at it first. So as you can see, this rose is composed from many smaller petals. And it's actually quite possible to create just one petal, make some copies, and arrange them to form this final flower. So I'm going to start with a plane. Set it to 2 by 2 and collapse to editable poly. Round the shape by scaling down these corner vertices. Let's make it more curved from the side view. And the basic idea is to create multiple petals and give them shell and turbo smooth. So the final shape is something like that. Okay, maybe let's turbo smooth it just once. Okay, poly. Let's turbo smooth it just once and collapse to that modifier to give us something a bit more to work with. Can fine-tune the shape a bit better with more geometry. And perhaps the petal is not perfectly round and perfectly symmetrical, so we can do that with edit poly modifier. Okay, and maybe let's move some parts inwards a bit. Parts outwards. All right. And that's a nice basic petal. Let's try to make it into a flower. So the first row will be the largest. I'm gonna make a few copies. Change the size slightly, rotate, make another copy. Maybe put this one on the outside. Okay, another copy. Maybe let's distort this one a bit. I'm just trying to make them so they are not all the same, as that can look a bit unnatural. Okay. Just keep adjusting the shape like that. All right. That's a good first row. I'm gonna select all these petals, scale them a bit smaller, move them inwards, move up, rotate. And I want to make this layer a bit more closed off. Okay, first some little changes to the first row. It's a bit too wide. Okay, and for the second row, I'm gonna move some of the vertices, make the petals a bit longer, and it might be helpful to use the screen reference system for rotation and moving, since they are not perpendicular to any one view, like front or left or something. So you can just rotate and manipulate them from whichever viewport position you like. Okay. Maybe let's distort this one a bit like that. Let's make this one a bit wider. Okay. I think the petals are a bit too thin. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna select some of them. Actually, I'm just gonna select all of them, delete the turbo smooth, delete the shell. Okay, just a few more. Now I'm gonna reset the X form for these pedals. Okay. Collapse back to editable poly. And now when I add a shell modifier, the thickness will be the same for all of them, even though they were scaled down. They're still gonna be the same thickness. Okay, and add the turbo smooth modifier as well, like that. Okay, let's select these central pedals. Scale down one more time. Make a copy, rotate. And let's close up the gap in the middle just by moving some vertices towards the center. So you're basically just taking some pedals and slapping them together to form a nice looking grouse. So some really simple geometry, when combined, creates a quite nice looking model. And for this inner layer we can modify them quite a bit more. So they are slightly overlapping. Like that, maybe. Let's copy a few more inside. Scale slightly smaller. That's a decent looking grouse, I think. We just have to close up the gap on the bottom. And the final pedal. So a reference image had a slightly rounder rose with a larger, emptier center, but I think this looks a bit better. If you wish to empty center, you can just delete those inner pedals, but I like to close it up like that. Okay. And that's a basic rose. You can group it together. Let's scale it outwards like that. And you can easily create some variations by making a copy. Okay, let's make this one more closed. Can distort any pedal you like. It's all adjustable. And just tweak the shape until you have a result different enough to look like a whole another model. Okay, and so that's how you can create some nice looking rose ornament.